T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Crash out, ayy, pop your shit. Tell her out to the face, they ain't talking about shit. Crash out, 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 yeah, we spilling the tea. If you catch your ass cap it, hit them with the receipts. Crash out, 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 nigga, don't be scared, don't be no punk, man. Speak up if you gon' be heard. Crash out, 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 do your big one then. We going viral, hella views, come and get some twin. Crash out, 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 crash out. You are now watching the Crash Out podcast. Incredible, Aaron the Plumber, Stockton, in a real way. Hey, you know what time it is, man. It's your boy Incredible, man. This is the one, the only Crash Out podcast, coming to you live on the airways of YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all that. You know what I mean? Hey, you know, we got a special episode tonight, man. It is the long awaited episode that I've been promoting for the last couple weeks, man. We got some pretty dope special guests up in the motherfucking building. It's been a lot of shit popping. You know, y'all been online, y'all been seeing everything that's been popping. We finna get into all that. So I want to say thank you to everybody that's watching, share live, and welcome once again. This is the Crash Out. Hold on, somebody's at the door. Somebody's at the motherfucking door, man. Hold on. Let's see who we got up in this motherfucker. Okay. The one, the only Royce Isaacs is in the motherfucking building, man.
Thank you.
Bro, what is good? Welcome to the Crash Out.
Dude, it's been a minute. I feel like the last time I saw you, I had like hair, and now I'm bald as a motherfucker.
I think you did have a little bit of hair last time I seen you, man. It has been a while. It has been a while. So are you currently still in Hollywood? Or are you traveling or what?
I'm in NoHo now, so in the Valley. It's a little more chill, you know what I mean? Like I like the speed a little better and a little less expensive, you know.
Okay. Yeah, North Hollywood is cool. I like NoHo. It is less expensive and less motherfuckers trying to fake it till you make it type shit. You know what I'm saying? Less of the bullshit.
Yeah,
less of the Hollywood.
I know exactly what, yeah, dude. Yeah, we were in the middle of it, bro. Like that was everyone. You didn't know any conversation you had what a dude was trying to pull on you and what they're really doing and all that. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, well, I'm doing this and that. Like, bro, no, you're not. We were I know my bro right here, man. We were at one of the most expensive places to live in Hollywood, at the very top of that motherfucker. And everybody that would come visit the fucking complex, the condos that we stayed at, would be there visiting or partying, but then see us that like live there and want to pop they shit. Like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Can we network? And it was just hilarious, bro.
Yes, 100%.
That is fake it till you make it city. You know what I'm saying? But I want to go off some of these stats, man. 11-year wrestling veteran, current, NJPW strong tag team champion, former world tag team champion on NWA, 5 tours in Japan, wrestled in US, UK, Canada, Mexico, and Japan, did mocap work and voiceover work for multiple 2K WWE video games. That's fucking fire. All that shit is fire. Recently made an appearance for TNA Wrestling, 2-sport college athlete, football and wrestling. You train catch wrestling under Josh Barnett and Gokor. How do you say his last name?
Chivichian. Yeah.
Yeah. And originally started wrestling in Denver, Colorado, bro. You him, man. What is it like? What has it been like for you?
Man, this wrestling thing's been really good to me. These last 11 years I've gotten to do like honestly, I got into wrestling not knowing what I like if I was gonna go far with it, if it was gonna be a big part of my life or whatever. And I've gotten to do and see some things that I never gone places I never thought I would, and had some really crazy experiences. So I've been very blessed in my career. It's been a steady climb. Like I think sometimes like people get overnight success or they do this that or whatever. It's just been like a steady grind for the last 11 years. And lately, over the past couple years, I feel like I've really started to enjoy some of the fruits of that labor. But it takes time. When I met you, I was still way lower on the scale in terms of like I wasn't my name wasn't ringing many bells or whatever. I'd done a few little things, but
Yeah,
it's been a grind, man. I know that since you're involved in all kinds of creative stuff, like you get it too. Like it's
yeah,
always trying to build your brand and figure out the next thing and whatnot, and you know, build up your following and getting people to believe in you and whatnot. And it
yeah,
just takes time, especially if you don't have, if someone else isn't strapping their rocket to your back or someone else isn't willing. I'll put it this way: if someone's willing to put thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars behind you, yeah, you could maybe get big really fast, or millions or whatever, depending on the industry. But
yeah.
when you're trying to build it all up yourself, it takes a lot of damn time and it takes a lot of work. And even then, even if you're really talented, you're going to have a few things kind of crack your way for things to really work out well.
That is a very powerful thing right there that you said. And my favorite part is the most truthful part. That's all. I know you done been through it too. Even if you're hella fucking talented, you still have to have some kind of luck, some kind of investor, some kind of push, because everybody you know is going to be like, well, don't you do this? How come you're not blah, blah, blah? Or don't you know somebody, they think you just meet a motherfucker and then just pop off type shit. Like, oh, well, you do this, they do that. Why don't you just call them? But on the inside, it's not that easy, even if you are the truth. And sometimes being the truth is hard because people will see your talent, be intimidated by you, and see you as competition.
For sure. Yeah, especially in wrestling, that happens a lot where you got to watch out and make sure that you're not you never want to not show out the most, but you do have to be careful who you associate and put your brand with, because people might try to put you under them in an attempt to intentionally really put you under them, to really stifle yourself, to have themselves in the higher light and whatever and whatnot. So
Yes,
like it's definitely it. I'm sure it happens in music and the arts and everything else too, but
all
it
that shit,
definitely
bro.
happens in wrestling.
A
Yeah.
motherfucker and music, they used to sign people to record labels just to never put their music out.
100%.
Like, oh, now that we own you, your competition to the artists that we want to put out. So just wait a little longer. Next year's your year, and every year, and your shit will never come out. Like, it's crazy. It's scandalous how they do that shit, man. It's really crazy. So, oh, hold on, man. We got somebody at the motherfucking door, man. God damn. As soon as we get popping, man, it's always somebody at the door at the goddamn crash out. Let's see. Okay, Elliot Ray's in the motherfucking building. Elliot, what's good, man?
Hey, I heard they had Hennessy in here. What's happening?
You heard that, Henny? Welcome to the
Yeah.
crash out, brother.
What's good? What's good? How y'all doing?
Chilling,
Good,
man.
good. Chilling.
Uh,
So Elliot Ray, 6'6", 299 pounds, student and mainstay at Oasis Pro, undefeated at City Fights Pro Wrestling, South Bay Championship Wrestling, most explosive and dangerous upcoming wrestler on the scene, coming out of Stockton, strong and certified. How you doing today, brother?
oh man, it's a beautiful evening. I just got out the dojo training. I feel good, dog. I feel good. I'm glad we was able to get this together. You feel me?
Man, took a lot of behind the scenes work. I be late and shit all the time and shit. And people got shit to do. But
Hey
today we gonna
man,
let it cook.
hey man, it's hard to get everybody on the same time and when everybody got motion.
For real, for real. For real, for real. So what is it like, Royce? What was it like for you? When did you notice that you were heating up and shit was changing for you in this game?
it It's tough because I feel like wrestling is it's all about like peaks and valleys. There's ups and downs, and there's times where you'll heat up a little bit and then you'll get cold and you're like, damn, is it me? Do I need to reinvent something? And sometimes you do, and sometimes you just stick with it. Like I would say like 3 years in, I was still pretty new to the game, but I got my first tour of Japan, and that was like, oh snap, like I'm really doing something. And then it was a couple more years of grinding and being like, wait, man, maybe I'm not a like it was like, oh, Japan, I'm about to make it. And then I was like, oh, maybe I'm not about to make it. And then it's like a couple more years that I got on with NWA and I took my shit to another level. And then it was like, oh, NWA tag champs, like hell yeah, contract, all this stuff. Like I'm about to crush it. I'm the man. And then NWA kind of fizzled out, and the pandemic happened, and I was really unhappy there. And got my release, asked for my release, and got it. And then it was like shortly after that, a couple years after that, then 2021 New Japan, I got in with them, and then it's like, oh hell yeah, New Japan, here we go, whatever. And so it's been this like you get these like moments where you're like, oh, I'm riding high, I'm doing my thing, like I'm about to be the next big thing, and then you cool off a little bit and you wonder, am I crazy? Do I suck? Is this not going to work out? And then you kind of realize it's somewhere in the middle where it's like you're still making progress little by little, and there's like the next mountain to climb, and you're going to climb that at some point and you'll find something really good. And then it's like, oh yeah, I'm the man again. And it's like, all right, well, the truth is somewhere in the middle. So like, it's hard to say. I think getting that first Japan tour is like a good part for when I like first kind of had a little bit of motion or heat or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, it's like I still feel like I'm like, I don't know, do I really like when you lay out the stats all together, I'm like, oh, I guess I'm doing pretty well for myself. But like when I just think about it, I'm like, oh man, I'm not doing enough. I need to get more. I need to do this, do that. So
I think what that has to do with is you have goals for yourself that you're really, really, really focused on, and you're self-motivated and ambitious. So some of the things that you do, you don't even notice until it's on the sheet. And then you got to go back like, dang, let me stop and just be thankful right now, because from where I started, just walking in the door, it could have went either way. There's some people that get fucked up their first match. There's some people that get fucked up their first year. You know what I'm saying? You're in the game. You're rocking. You're doing shit. You're making accomplishments. Sometimes you gotta just look back and be like, God damn, I am that. I am that raw. All you gotta do is stay in the game, because your talent is crazy, bro. Your talent is fucking crazy. You got a dope personality behind your shit. You got dope ass moves. I think all you gotta do is stay in the game, bro. For real.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Elliot Ray, do you have any questions you would like to say to Mr. Isaacs while he's in the motherfucking building in the crash out, sir?
I actually wanted to give props first. So I kind of got on the journey with you while you were still at like West Coast Pro mainly. And just with what you said about your journey thus far, I'll say that you've always been good at being consistent. You always show up, and there's always an expectation of Royce is going to show out, or like West Coast Wrecking Crew is going to show out. When I found out that I was going to be doing this, I ended up watching like some of your blood sport clips. Props on that match with Tavion up in Vegas. Yeah, there's something to be said about somebody who you know is always gonna pull up and do the damn thing. Like, consistency isn't a common thing. So props to you.
Dude, thank you. I pride myself in that. So that actually, I feel seen right now. I thank you, man.
Oh yeah, nah. Like you always, as long as I've known of you, you've always showed up and done the work.
Word up. That's what's up, man. That's some real shit. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is that a big ugly shirt?
Nah, Matt Freeman.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah,
another big ugly man.
Oh well, yeah, they did come up in that same crowd. Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, I had to throw something on the way to the dojo.
No doubt. Yeah, he's good peoples.
Yeah, Freeman's been cool. I'll be out there on Friday because one of my coaches is doing a seminar out there. Zoe.
Oh yeah. Zoe's my dude. I love that guy.
He did say that when I told him I was doing this. He was like, "Oh yeah, like Royce is cool." Like he gave full blessing. He was like, "Yes, sit down with that man."
Hell yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah. Hell
Mhm.
yeah, hell yeah. See, that's what the fuck I'm talking about, man. See, wrestlers got this language, you know what I'm saying? They got this language because it ain't easy, like from the outside looking in to the like average fan, you just see the presentation. But nobody really knows all the behind the scenes work and all the endurance and strength and consistency that it actually takes to strap up and go out there. It's so many like road shows that we don't see. It's so many things that
That
we
part.
don't see when you got to really pick yourself up. You know what I'm saying? You really have to have a love for it. Who were some of y'all inspirations coming in the game? Like growing up, who inspired y'all to like get in the ring and shit?
I think for me, like obviously, if you can't tell from the bald head and the goatee, Steve Austin was definitely an influence. You know,
For sure.
um, I was a big Steve Austin and rock guy growing up, but like who wasn't? Like I'm 36, so like that was definitely like the time period that they were,
Attitude
like
era was
the
the shit.
yeah, 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 yeah. But I think like guys like like Mr. Perfect and Rick Rude were like big, like, oh, these guys rule, like these guys are awesome. Scott Steiner, like I'm a big Scott Steiner guy, so those are people that I was like either character wise or in ring wise, I was like, that's what I want to do, that's what I want to kind of represent.
Dope, 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 dope. Yeah, shout out to the motherfucking attitude era, man. It had me. It was like crack for me. It was just like, oh my
Yeah,
god, Raw is on. We gotta watch it. Me and my sister was on that tough, man.
yeah.
Elliot Ray, who were some of your influences in wrestling growing up?
When I first started watching as a kid, I was on the other side of the fence watching WCW.
Mm,
Sting and Diamond Dallas Page were my guys growing up.
That's what's up.
Yeah, as a kid, like they could do no wrong. I was there for everything that Sting and DDP did. Once I realized like I wanted to do this though, I was super into like New Japan, like mid 2010, 2015. That was learning about Nakamura, Shibata,
Yeah.
finding Brian Danielson's old work in like Ring of Honor up in, I think he had a Noah tour too. I
Yep.
Yeah, I love that Japanese shudo style.
Hell yeah.
mm, that's dope. Yeah, a lot of legends, a lot of hella wrestling legends and like icons went through Japan. What do you think is unique about going through there that really builds character as a wrestler?
Japan, their culture around wrestling is really they take such pride in their art, like the way, and it's just like a societally, the way they do things, no one really does things half-assed. Like you just really, if you have a craft, no matter what it is, if you're working a job wherever it is, like you're going to put in, it's like, oh, my boss gave me an impossible task that's going to take 19 hours a day for the next 3 weeks. Well, I guess I'm going to work 19 hours a day type of thing. So like when you see the wrestlers, it's like they'll put themselves through whatever, they trust their trainers and they'll put themselves through whatever they need to. They care a lot about all the little important details that make all the big difference. All that stuff's there. I think their their young lion system, of like how they bring along young talent where they make them really make the most of, like they give them like nothing and make them make the most out of it, I think is really advantageous. Because if you can make something great with using only a little bit of ingredients or moves or whatever personality, then you know how to do it when you have access to everything, when you can do whatever. So I think Japanese wrestling, they care about their craft and they have a really good developmental system, whereas I think in the US it's a little more scattered, and you have some places where you have good trainers, some places where you have bad trainers, and everyone's kind of just teaching what they think is the best versus like a more systematic approach. So I feel like Japan always has that like extra level of, like it's a good place to. I when I got there, I was still definitely in a younger stage in my career, but I had done a
Mhm.
little bit and I was a little bit established. I was starting to just barely figure out who Royce Isaacs is and whatnot. But being there, training with them, and then having to just kind of be like in the deep end where it's like I just got to figure it out. Like I'm sinking or swimming kind of thing. I think was good for me because it was just like I was immediately in there with really, really, really good wrestlers, and no one was like, oh well, this is the new Gaijin, so like let's go easy on him. It was like, yo, you need to swim, you need to hold up your end of the bargain and whatever. So that really like catapulted me in terms of, I think, my in-ring ability.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Wow, that's deep. So, like, what do y'all feel is the greatest finisher? Top 3 finishers in y'all opinion, and why? Give me y'all top 3 finishers. What just is hella dope to y'all?
My number one's probably the Emerald Flosion by Masawa, because it just looks like insane. Like, just looks like it kills you. Top 3. They're probably all going to be like some form of pile driver. Like so Flosion. Actually, no, I'll say Flosion, Burning Hammer, because it's dope, the lore around it. It was only used 6 times by Kobashi, and I'm a big Kobashi mark, and every single time it was the finish. No one ever kicked out of it. 3. Damn.
Tough, ain't it?
What's that?
Tough, ain't it?
Yeah, it's easy. It's way easier to have a first favorite finisher. It's actually way harder to have what's my third favorite finisher.
Yes, it is. It is. It is.
Man, now I'm on the spot. Who the hell has a cool ass finish right now? Oh, old Bam Bam Bigelow, the greetings from Asbury Park. He had like, he'd sling you over his shoulder and then give you a driver through his legs. Or actually, wait, no, sorry, I got to take it back. The Steiner screwdriver, the old his pile driver that he had. That thing is mean. That actually might be number 2. I might have to move that into number 2.
Yeah. Elliot Ray, what's your top 3 finishers?
Okay, top 3, no particular order.
No particular order.
I was gonna say, oh yeah, mine. I finished with that Drew McIntyre Claymore kick, but in all seriousness, I'm a fan of any type of strong lariat, your clothesline from Hells, your Stan Hansen, your Rainmakers.
JBL.
Yes, I'm always a fan of those. There's a bunch of drivers to pick from, ain't it? If I had to pick one, I like that made in Japan, that pump handle driver.
You got to shout out to Zoe on that one.
Hey man, shout out to Alpha Zoe, my coach. Because his is wicked too.
Yeah, his is really good.
And then number 3, showing a little bias here to DDP, the Diamond Cutter / the RKO / any other iteration of the cutter.
Yeah.
It's dynamic. It can be hit from a bunch of different positions out of nowhere. It's always cool.
Dope. I'm gonna go with, because my favorite wrestler of all time is Shawn Michaels, man. So I have to go with Sweet Chin Music, because it was just so effective, and it was just so like it. Besides the Diamond Cutter, it was one of the original out of nowhere type moves, because DDP will reverse you and then bam, like into a cutter. HBK would just pop that thing, or the camera would just point to him, then boom, the kick's already in progress. Like the original super kick, the original motherfucking Sweet Chin Music. I love that one. As far as drivers, I like the drivers. I'm gonna go with I like the illegal Owen Hart pile driver, because
she does look sick.
It made you hella scared.
Out? Yeah, the sit out tombstone.
God.
That
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Owen Hart, when he hit that on people, I was like, is my favorite wrestler gonna die today? Because he hit that move on him. Like, is he gonna be okay? Like,
I mean, he changed Austin with it, so
he did. Yes. He did change Austin with that.
And then I might have to go with a bomb. I like no. Y'all gonna hate me for this, but the Mexican Destroyer is hella sick.
I'm not mad at it.
You don't know who hit who until it's done, and then somebody sits up, and you're like, "Oh shit, he did that move. He flipped him over double time, like crazy shit, crazy shit." But yeah, that's That's it. Okay, so the fans in the building chat is saying, Lavish Rich said it seems like all the top wrestlers was coming out of Canada, like it's their culture in football and basketball is Americans. Yeah, during the Attitude Era, it was a lot of good wrestlers coming out of Canada. Straight up. Somebody said Sweet Chin Music, Sharpshooter. We got Urban who said RKO, Bonsai Drop. No one's ever kicked out of it, and Riptide. Nobody's ever kicked out of the Bonsai Drop.
If anybody, maybe Hogan, but
I was gonna say it was maybe Hogan in that match where like, it was like right after Brett, like when they did the kind of they tucked Brett with that angle where he was like, I lost, Hogan, you got to go win for me. But I wouldn't be surprised if Hogan just didn't take the Bonsai Drop. So maybe no one has kicked out of it.
Are we talking just Yoko's Bonsai Drop? Because I think
someone's definitely kicked out of other people's shit for sure.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I think Tiffy just kicked out of Naya's on Monday. Was it Monday or Friday?
She calls it something else though, yeah or no?
The Annihilator.
Yeah. The Bonsai Drop is only when Yokozuna does it. Just like everyone else does a super kick, but Shawn Michaels does a Sweet Chin
Music.
All right.
Yep. Let me ask y'all this. Why do y'all feel that what do y'all feel about certain moves not being protected like they used to do them back in the days? Like people kick out of moves and they don't feel as protected as they were. How do you feel about that?
I know it's like something that like in the wrestling community gets a lot of like the old school guys will huff and puff and whatever. But at the end of the day, like things just kind of change over time. Like it is a shame. Like I do love a good DDT. I do love a good super kick. And like those moves are pretty abused to the point where like you're gonna have a hard time like selling that as your finish or whatever at this point. But I do think like at a certain point, if you worry about it too much, you do become like the old man yelling at the clouds kind of thing, where it's like, look, any sport is going to evolve. If you like, I don't know, it would be like complaining that, the way they threw fastballs back in like the 1920s doesn't work anymore. And like they're just going to hit home runs off it every time. It's like, yeah, sports science has evolved. So like, even in terms of if you're thinking from a kayfabe perspective or whatnot, like these things are going to get, like I do care about protecting moves to a degree, and I don't think that we should just hoe out every move and make everything mean nothing. But also, like at some point, you have to like be in tune with what the reality of today's wrestling climate is. So there's only so much resistance you can have to certain things. Like if a move's already been completely broken and blew out, then it is what it is. You're gonna have to use it for its new purpose and where it kind of goes. But still protect the stuff as you're going along. That like if you have your own finish, if you are with someone else and they have their finish, make that stuff mean something. Like I've never been I like wrestling and I like pulling all on the line out there and doing a lot and having big matches with big moves and big bumps and a lot of possibility of something that could be an injury or whatever, this, that, whatever, but executing it in a good way and getting the most out of it and doing it in the best way I can possibly. Like I've never been a guy that's like, oh, we didn't do anything and the crowd was great. It's like, fuck that. I want to work hard. I want to do the most that I can. But I want to get the most out of that. I want to squeeze the most juice out of that. I want to get the most bang for my buck. And I want the people that are watching it to feel like, damn, that was a great match. And they worked their asses off at the end of the day. So I don't know, kind of a long answer where I went all over the place, but I think
that's good.
To a degree,
that's
you're not wrong in terms of protecting moves, but there's only so much you can do. So you just have to be smart and understand the climate of where we're at.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. That's fucking dope. Where do y'all think where do you think wrestling is going? How do you see the evolution of wrestling going into? Because we grew up in like the kayfabe era where it was always a question of, and then if you go on an interview and someone asks you, is it real or not? You got to attack them. You know what I'm saying? Type stuff like, oh, is this real? And they slap the shit out you type shit. Like, where does wrestling go for here to survive in this era of technology and stuff like that? Like, what does the future of wrestling look like to y'all?
You know, I mean, I think to a degree, wrestling was always going to play this deceptive game. So it's like, we'll have, yeah, people will be like, oh, we all know it's fake. But then all the hottest angles are things where people find a way to blur that line. And it's
Yes,
like, at the end of the day, we all know movies are fucking fake, but
exactly.
you find a way to make someone immerse themselves for those 2 hours and care about those
Mhm.
characters. That's all that matters. So, like, I know that people think, oh yeah, that wrestling's fake. It's a show, this, that, whatever. But if they can watch my match, and hopefully they watch my match and they go, that was a great match. Wow, that was so impressive, this, that, whatever. But if I can also find a way to blur that line or get them to invest, even if it's not if it's not like them at the end going, wow, I thought that was real or this, that, whatever. If I can get them to go, oh shit, is this the fit? Oh no, okay, oh my God, we're still going. Like, if I can get them to lose it a little bit and not care about worrying about, is this real right now? Is this fit? Whatever,
Yeah,
cool, then I've done my job. And that's what I try to do. So
Yep.
there's always going to be ways to do that. In the future, it may be different. Like, you see a lot of people that will do stuff with social media because
yeah,
that's where the meta is right now. And I'm sure in the future there's going to be stuff with, AI and whatever new technologies, but like the actual ways that we do the things are going to still be the same in terms of how you get people to bite on this or that or whatever. Storytelling is going to be storytelling.
yes.
2025, 2005, 2045, storytelling is going to be storytelling. Getting people to bite into it and believe are going to be the same regardless.
If you could tell a story, you're gonna always be successful. Because since the beginning of time, stories was how we survived as humans. Like, oh,
Right.
and then he went into the woods and then grabbed the wolf, and then he came back with the. You know what I'm saying? Storytelling is just a part of our nature. From back in the days when they used to have the fucking theaters and shit, to movie theaters and shit, to live shows and shit. We want to hear a good story. That's why motherfucking like Bad Girls Club and shit is good. Like, people get immersed in a good story. As long as you can story tell, I think you're right about that. Elliot Ray, where do you feel like wrestling's going? Like, what's the future of wrestling's gonna look like in your opinion?
To piggyback off of what Royce said, like, I know 2025 has been a big year for people pulling the curtain back, certain entities wanting to let people in more than they have been already. And it's already been difficult with the internet and social media and how it is. But I will
Mhm.
say, from firsthand experience, good wrestling will take a non-believer and make them feel something for just a couple minutes, even if it's just a couple minutes. Good
Mhm.
wrestling will get you to sink into it, and that's what it is. You gotta get them to feel something just for a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I was just checking out one of these motherfucking clips. Yeah, you gotta give them to feel something. It's like when you're trying to get somebody to like something and they hating on it, and then it's like you got a girl and she really wants you to see this like chick flick, and you're like, man, I don't want to see this shit. I don't want to see shit, and you end up watching it. You end up watching more, and you and your girl is at the end of the movie crying and shit. Like, he should have did her like that, babe. He should have did her like that. You feel me? Like, get them into it. You know what I'm
I can't
saying?
believe
Get
that
them
bitch
into it.
did that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, been there.
That's dope. That's dope. Oh man. So but matter of fact, let me go ahead and pop one of these off. What is this clip that we're watching right now? Elliot
Oh
Ray.
my God. You got me on Front Street. This was from a couple weeks ago for a promotion called Lucha Libre. Shout out to them. They've been doing wrestling shows at your local libraries across the bay. So that particular one was from Pittsburgh. I wrestled a man named Alex Ace. He is a 7 foot tall monster. Very few people make me feel like the smaller guy in the room.
Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and
Um,
check this clip off. He's 7 foot tall?
yes.
Uh-oh.
And then I
Whoa.
proceed to put
Oh,
him
just got the big giant.
on his back.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Whoa. Oh, just got the big.
oh, that was nice. Nice form there. Nice form there. What is it? You're usually the big guy in the room, right? But then sometimes
Usually, yes.
you'll get a monster.
Mm,
And then where is this at?
This was in New Jersey for City Fights Pro. Me and one of my guys, TJ Black, we wrestled Hemi Hendrix and Draven, two cats from the East Coast scene. First time being on the East Coast to work a show, so that was a blessing. It was a dope, for sure, dope experience.
Mm, okay. And this last clip, where is this at? Tell us about this one right here.
Oh, this was at Oasis Pro for that was for our Ninth Ireland show, Mania weekend. Ooh, shit.
These two in
My bad, I got caught up watching this
got
again.
the worst for that one. Big boot from Elliot Ray. Look at that.
But yeah, that was
Nice.
back from Mania weekend at our Las Vegas show for Oasis Pro. Me and Gigi Furiosa, we took on the Islanders by the name of Tui and Damu Anawai.
Now what would you say? Okay, so Elliot Ray, you did did you train under Jacob Fatu, or you did some training with him?
I was with him for like the last few months before he got signed.
Okay. And what is it like, and for you too, Royce, what is it like working with, like, is there a different attitude or a different kind of like aura working with different companies, or like WWE guys versus working with like a TNA guy versus working with like is there a certain culture that comes with each league, or is it just people independently doing their shit? And like, what is it like as far as culture goes?
Oh, all right. First, quick aside. I actually, in 2017, I think, me and Jake Fatu had a tryout together for WWE. Obviously, it didn't work out back then, but he got on last year, and he's just been killing it, which is great to see, because like the most talented dude, cool guy, like real humble, like he's the man, and so I'm really glad to see he's blown up. But like I knew him, I think, before that, and then we got like really close on that trip, because like we were like, they would break us up into little groups, and we were in the same group together. So like we were going to get lunch together, we were doing burpees together, all that kind of stuff. So and then I've wrestled with him quite a bit, since then in NorCal and whatever. So
Dope.
really happy for him, man. He's the man. I think honestly, the thing is with wrestling, no matter where you're at, like, we're independent contractors both by nature and just by how the job works. And so I feel like more so it's how that individual person is, because I've met people that haven't done shit in the ring, like in terms of like, they haven't been anywhere, done anything, and they act like the biggest fool of themselves, like I am the veteran of them all. And then I've met some people that I'm like, wow, like I used to watch you when I was growing up and you're my hero and this, that, whatever. And they're like, please, call me Jason, and hey, do you want a slice of pizza and whatever? And you're like, oh snap, like you're just one of us. You're a cool ass dude or whatever. So it really, I do think it depends person to person, but I feel like a lot of times, outside of like some people that are just like I did a match where I tagged with Rey Mysterio, and he was cool, but I will say I was like, holy shit, like he's a cultural icon. Like it was like a different level where it was like, yo, I could barely even get his ear for a second, because like, he's talking to someone, then he's signing an autograph, then he's doing this, and he's signing another autograph, then he's signing someone's baby or whatever, and you're like, yo, all right, cool. Like you're just on a different level. But that's like that's the rarity. Like usually even the guys that are really big stars, they're still kind of just like dudes, so they're either going to be cool or they're going to be an asshole, and there's not really a lot of like in between. But wrestling attracts a lot of weird, cool people, so I feel like it's one of the, in terms of entertainment, it's one of the smaller worlds where you're going to meet most people, and you'll figure it out, where you're like, oh, this dude's really cool. Oh wow, they're up their own asshole, I'm gonna stay away from them.
Kind of thing. Damn, man, I gotta deal with artists and like rapper egos. Dealing with wrestlers' egos gotta be just out of this world.
No, I think wrestlers are, some of them. The problem is the wrestlers that have the biggest egos are like the ones that you're like, dude, you suck. So it's kind of, you just push them into a different, you're in trash pile.
Interesting. What advice would you guys give to maybe like a up and coming kid that sees what you guys do and is like, I want to do that with my life, man? Where do I start? Where do I begin? What should I know? What advice would you give someone who wants to get into the business?
I would say it's really important. One, where you train. So finding a place that has coaches that are competent, like they've done stuff in the business, because it's gonna be hard for you to learn how to draw money in the business if you're learning from someone that's never drawn a dime in their life. You're learning from someone that's never done at least a little bit of something. I find personally that the best trainers are ones that were extremely talented and should have probably made it, but for one reason or another just barely didn't, unfortunately
Yeah.
for them. But they tend to have that real hunger, versus there are some guys that made it all, did everything, but they may not know why. They didn't spend all those hours breaking down why that happened. So I think the guys that like almost made it tend to be really, really, really good trainers. I think finding a place that's accredited and has good trainers that are invested is important. And I think the other thing is, if you really care about wrestling and you want to be a wrestler, take it very seriously in terms of like, not everyone has to be like super jacked. We call them like body guys, like, oh, like you're, big muscles, abs, all that
Yeah.
stuff. You don't have to be
Yeah.
that, but wrestling, it's a physical combat sport. So you got to be in shape. Like you have to, I'll put it this way. You don't have to be lean. You don't have to just have muscle, but if someone was approached by you late at night, would they be like, oh shit, like, is this guy cool? Is he not? Like, you know what I mean? Are they worried about your physical presence? Because if they're just like, oh, okay, this little bitch came up to me, like, all right, well, then you don't pass the test in terms of being a wrestler. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you just need something physically intimidating, and you can be that even when you're small. Like, there's plenty of small people that have a presence, that have a look and all that. You can be fat and you can do that. You can be fat and like, oh shit, this guy's dangerous. I ain't trying to, fuck with him or whatever. Like his high calorie ass will put me in a coma type of thing. So it's just
Yeah.
like finding your version of ass kicker. You know what I mean? So just don't go to wrestling school fully out of shape. Just be like, well, they can like teach me everything. It's like, no. Do your squats, do your push-ups, all that kind of shit. Get yourself ready to go, because this is an athletic competition at the end of the day, regardless. So those are my two big things, I'd say.
Right.
Okay. Elliot Ray, what would you tell an up and comer that wants to get into the business?
Be ready to commit. It's a dope journey. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Just in the infancy of my career, I wouldn't trade it for the world. But there's a lot of sacrifice, and there has to be a mental checklist of, okay, cool. I'm good with setting this to the side. I'm cool with getting back to this later. I want to get this done now. Second, uh, so when I got on and when I first started training, I did it as a means to partially as a means to have motivation to work out and have a healthier lifestyle. I wouldn't recommend that to people. As Royce said, start just like a body weight regimen. Get your calisthenics together, get that down, and have that consistent coming in. Um, it, it's crazy how often like my toughest workouts and like my most rewarding progress comes from like not even hitting weights for real, just doing a lot of body weight work and being able to just control my own weight. That will take you far, especially when the bulk of it is body control. Know how to move, know how, I'm saying, know how to maneuver yourself and place yourself.
Yeah. One thing that I learned about wrestling from watching it is you can have the dopest physique, you can have the dopest look, you can have the dopest everything, but if your ass can't talk, you are dead in the water. Royce, what are some good key points of on the mic work and like character presence? What are some good things to note about that?
I think one of the biggest things, a lot of people don't get comfortable on the mic or cutting a promo because they start out and they suck at it and they go, "Oh, that's embarrassing," and then they don't do it enough. But if you care, you're gonna have to be able to talk. You're gonna have to be able to communicate. And a lot of times, like the biggest money drawing matches, it's because of the buildup with all the talking. And yeah, the finale, the match was great, but you have to talk them into the seats in the first place. And maybe that's a mixture of some physicality and some talking, but there has to be talking involved. So it's like, I don't know, if you were doing a job and you kind of sucked at one part of the job and then you just stopped doing it, it's like, yeah, your ass would be fired. So like you just have to, like, when I first started out, I would, cut promos in the shower. I'm shitting on my, soap or whatever. Oh, you don't even clean, whatever. Cutting a promo on the road while you're just driving around, cut a promo at the stoplight, cut a promo, about the highway traffic or whatever. Like you just got to cut promo after promo. And then eventually you'll find your voice. Like a lot of it when you start out is you're just kind of like mimicking whoever you thought was, dope when you were coming up or whatever, but you'll find your voice eventually and your way to put your things in there. And then I think an important thing too, like I like to take a lot of inspiration from like movies and like rap music and shit like that, where I can find something that's a little bit different in terms of maybe it's like a saying or the way someone said something or the way someone's like flipped something. Because if you get too insular with wrestling where you're only watching wrestling promos to inspire your wrestling promos, you're going to sound like other wrestling promos. And I like to talk and communicate when I cut a promo. I'll go into like there's like a wrestler cadence kind of, and I'll go into that sometimes, and it happens, and it's totally fine to do a little bit of it. But if you just cut a full promo doing wrestler voice and wrestler tone the whole time, it's not going to capture people as much
at all.
Some of the best people that cut promos ever would break off from that quite either entirely, or they would, this is the wrestling promo, blah, 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 blah. And then they would go here for the part they really want you to hear and pay attention to, because that's going to catch your ear. Because you go, wait a second. I got to listen to this motherfucker. He just started saying it in a different way or whatever. So like, I like to take inspiration for stuff like that from like elsewhere, where I'll see a movie and maybe it's not even I take the exact line. Maybe it's just the delivery on it. Or maybe it's like, oh, I do straight up find, okay, how do I make this into a pro wrestling line? Because it was like sick. He just killed the bad guy and that was badass or whatever. So I think stuff like that. Like get comfortable, 2, find your voice, and then 3, find inspiration from outside sources that's not just wrestling to really round out your game.
Right, because Yeet was already a pop culture thing that he blew the fuck up and made it his. Like when you can have art imitate life, because life imitate art, it just it's perfect. Hint, everybody's saying crash out. So feel free to go ahead and tell one of them motherfuckers you about to crash out on them. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? You let me fucking crash out. Royce gonna have to crash out. They're gonna go crazy over that. Like, oh, Royce crashes out. You know what I'm saying? Elliot, you know what I'm saying? You guys go ahead and crash out on the motherfucker too. You feel me? How about music? What is the key to selecting the right interest music?
It has to slap, obviously, but it's also gotta fit your character and what you're trying to portray. Like, you don't want to just pick your favorite song. You want to pick a song that works with your character, and then you also have to then match your entrance energy to that song. Because if you just come out to something that's like super fast paced and you're walking really slow and somber, it's not going to work like that.
Right.
And like, it has to be like for me, my solo entrance music is Gangster's Paradise, and it's like, for me, one banger of a song, all-time classic song.
Classic. Let's get it. Come on.
Right. But also, it's like there's a lot of it's got like a lot of aura and vibe to it, where you're like, it's building to something. I think it's a very you know, it's like a serious song that you can walk slow to and look menacing to, and I've just found a way to kind of get it to work for me. So it's like you have to find a mixture of something that you like, but also something that fits your character, and then you got to match your energy to that kind of thing.
Bro, Gangsta's Paradise is perfect because it's theatrical, it's
Yes.
orchestral. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crescendoing and it's like the heavens are falling to them, and then the drums hit and you're coming out. That is a good interest song, my friend. That is a great interest song. What about you, Elliot Ray? What do you think is good advice on getting good entrance music?
Oh man. Somebody told me similar in that, don't just pick what you like, because my entrance music isn't even normally what like I bang with on a regular basis, but the way it lines up with my presentation
Mhm.
and how I carry myself, like it like this, you know what I'm saying? So I walk out to Stick Talk by Future, and just the way that, you know what I'm saying, the way the beat
Nice,
cooks up,
nice,
no
nice,
drums, you just
nice.
right. Um just building up that anticipation, and then my big 6'6" ass comes out, you know what I'm saying, swagging out, you know what I'm saying, and catching everybody's attention, dripped out, chain around my neck, looking like, you know what I'm saying, looking like some money, but I'm about to knock somebody out. It's a beautiful thing. Like it definitely takes looking through the index and just trying to figure out like, okay, what am I going for, and what matches this better, you know what I'm saying? And it takes a little bit of time. That wasn't the first thing that I came out to, but we here now, and it's such a good fit.
Is there an unwritten rule about wearing like a gold chain in the ring, like in ring type thing? Is there an unwritten rule about that? I seen people getting upset about that recently. Like, you're not supposed to have those flashy chains on. Is that a safety thing, or is that like, are you not supposed to have jewelry while you wrestle, or is there certain things you shouldn't have, like earrings or something like that, like in the ring that can potentially harm others or something like that?
Earrings, I'd say, is a no-no. But I mean, I've seen people do it. I've also seen people get joints ripped out their earlobe. So,
Ugh.
take that how you will.
That's
I
gonna make the
feel
audience be like, "Oh, that was hella real." The audience gonna be like, "No, his ear is split open."
I wonder how they gimmick that one.
That's
Yeah,
wild.
I've seen the video footage lately, and I feel like it's subjective. Partially, yeah, be safe.
Yeah,
Um, but also it all depends. Like there's some times where like I'll just wear it to the ring. I also have times where like I'll have like the you know what I'm saying, the chain that I take off, and then I'll actually have a choker. But one of them got broke recently, so we're not doing that too much. Um, I, I was so pissed. I look over and it's just broke laying on the mat next to me, and I'm like, "Fuck." Um, yeah, I feel like it all depends on the person. Where I'm at and where I wrestle at, I haven't heard too many issues. Nobody's really been like, "Oh, take the chain off." They get who I am.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like it makes sense.
Yeah, like Roy said, the sport evolves, and
Mhm.
you can't be just, oh, back in my days we you know what I'm saying, type shit. Speaking of evolution, I'm seeing that, back in the Attitude Era, the women's side of wrestling, it wasn't too much about wrestling. It was like bra and panty matches and all this other stuff, right? But now there's so much talent out there that's really, really, really kicking ass. Who are some of the women wrestlers that you guys think are fucking dope as fuck?
Um, I would say honestly, pretty much all the Joshi in Japan are killing. Like anyone in Stardom is really, really good. I think Trish Adora and Johnny Robbie are really good on the indies in the US and in Japan and whatever. Trying to think of who else. Amira Lala just got over to Japan for a tour. She's really good. She's from the Pacific Northwest, so another West Coast talent. But honestly, the women's indie scene is like better than it's been in a long time. I would say lately, it's been really good to see. There's ladies killing it all over, So
Dope, dope,
Absolutely.
dope. Elliot, who you like? Who you think is some dope women's wrestlers that you would give
Im-
props to?
Immediately, there's been times where I've looked at Rhea Ripley's work and I've been like, "Oh, I need to do that." Like her power game and like her presence in the ring, I feel is unmatched. Shout out to Willow Nightingale in AEW. I think she's super underrated still after years of putting out good work. And I'd love to see her get more of her flowers within the next year or two.
Mm,
On the independent scene, shoot. I know Zara Zacher was doing her thing at West Coast Pro, and then she
oh yeah,
caught
yeah, yeah.
she
My
caught
bad. I should have
DID.
mentioned Zara for sure.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good. I got you. I know she got ID lately, which super deserved. Um, Sandra Moon's been doing her thing, but I think she's on the way out. Um, it, the I was sleeping on like Joshi wrestling for a good little minute, and then I started seeing like I remember the Queen of the Indie shows where they started bringing in like just all the different women from domestic and overseas, and seeing these Japanese girls go
they're the
at it.
truth. They are the truth.
Mm-hmm. It
They
don't
are the
make
truth.
sense.
Facts. Royce, tell us about your recent TNA appearance and what was that like for you?
Oh man, it was really cool. I got to wrestle Leon Slater, who's probably like one of the top young talents from the UK. They have a lot of really good talents over there, but he's one of the top talents, young talents from over there. He's only like 20 something, and really good high flyer, but he's like wiry strong, so he's got like a good base for like I think he's going to be a big boy in a few years probably.
Mm,
But yeah, really talented, really charismatic, and TNA is like a top notch place. Like they've been around for a long time now, and they've stood the test of time, and they
yes.
really like they have a really really good operation going on there. So I was honored to be able to be a part of that, and for them to put me in a match with one of their top young guys, so I could really show and prove myself, like and get a big opportunity against a guy that I've really wanted to wrestle for, the last couple of years now that he's been on my radar.
Hmm.
So, shout out to TNA because everyone was like super professional. You want to talk about like good locker room culture? Everyone was really, really cool. Like they have a big backstage, lots of people there, and everyone from the crew to the wrestlers and everything like that was very accommodating and cool. Obviously I've met a lot of those people on my journeys, but there was plenty of people that I hadn't before, and they were all immediately like there was no, oh, like I'm the star here, so you gotta whatever. Everyone was cool. Everyone was cool. I went out there, I busted my ass, and
Hmm.
it went really well. So definitely expecting to do some more stuff with them in the future. We'll see how that all works out, but uh yeah, I'm very happy with TNA and hopefully get to do a lot more with them, man.
So TNA, when you see this TNA, book Royce. Okay, Royce is the choice. Okay, make a choice and book Royce. Okay, he about to pull up and crash out on y'all. Okay, all right. Who who would you who would you like? Who are some of the people that you would like to get in the ring with?
Um, I would say for me, my dream matches that I always say
Yeah.
are Katsuyori Shibata and
Mm,
Nick Nemeth slash Dolph Ziggler. Nick Nemeth is his name now, but he was Dolph Ziggler in WWE. Those are like
mhm.
my two big dream matches.
Why those two?
Shibata, I think, had a run like where he was just the best wrestler in the world, and I think it wasn't really acknowledged except for in hardcore circles. But I just think, like, I think he was that good for that amount of time, and then he had a really unfortunate injury, and luckily through sports science and whatnot, he's come back,
Mhm.
and he's not wrestling quite as hard of a schedule in terms of like the workload that he has to take on himself, but he's that legend in the game, and he's someone that I have an insane amount of respect for. And I think I don't know, that would just be really like a huge honor to be able to share the ring with him. And as far as Nemeth, like, so I was into wrestling really, really hardcore as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then at some point in high school, I kind of started to fall out with it a little bit. And Ziggler was like one of the reasons that I got back into it, because I was like, oh, this guy kind of like moves like HBK, and he's like
Yeah.
awesome, and he's like bouncing around the ring like crazy and whatnot. So I think I just was like, oh, like this guy's the man, and he got me back into wrestling. So it's like, I don't know, I have a lot of respect for his wrestling ability,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, it would just be cool to like wrestle someone like that like kind of like got me to take that first step and get back into the biz and whatnot.
Dope.
Yeah.
Elliot.
Just quick warning, I gotta bounce out in like 5 minutes or so. All right.
Okay. Elliot, before we wrap it up, let us know what are your top give me a top 3 dream matches and why.
Oh man, shoot. Dream matches. Konosuke Takeshita in AEW. For him to be the size that he is and be able to move the way he does and have the poise and the ability, it's unreal. I'd love to be able to mix it up with him at some point. There's another one on my list who I've technically already worked, but I need that run back. Shout out to Alpha Zoe. I feel like when I wrestled him, it was good, but I wasn't anywhere near where I wanted to be when that match happened.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to be able to cut my teeth some more and show him what he's helped build. Um,
Ooh.
so I'd be able
Okay,
to.
okay, okay.
Yeah. One of my dream matches I'm technically having this Sunday. I'm in a 6-man tag at Oasis Pro, and I'll be wrestling the South Pacific Savages, Journey Fatu, Cepha Parisi, and Juicy Finale. I'm finna take it to them Polynesians, dog.
Okay, okay. I was gonna ask that. That was a good lead in. What
Yes, sir.
what is some of the matches coming up that y'all would like to promote? Where can we find you? We about to wrap it up, but let all the new fans know that's gonna watch this how to find you. What's the next match? Just in case they gotta pull up, fly out, whatever it is. Where do we find you? Give us the info.
Yeah, I think my next like big thing I have is in a few weeks in Denver. Lucha Libre and Laughs. They always have a really good show there. It's like their 12th anniversary or something like that. I'm wrestling Jonathan Gresham, so that's a big one for me because he's like phenomenal grappler and the kind of guy that I appreciate his style of wrestling and whatnot. So I'm really excited for that one. I should be on. It's a 2-day thing, so if you're in Denver,
Mm.
Colorado, or around that area, I would definitely recommend checking it out because Lucha Libre and Laughs always has like a really really cool show. I've had some bangers there. Other than that, just check me out if you're like curious and you want to see what I'm all about. YouTube Royce Isaacs versus. There's a bunch of matches that are all up on there. Or if you have like Fight TV /trailer or whatever, I got a bunch of stuff on there too. But yeah, I mean, honestly, if you want to check out a match or whatever, I would suggest. I just had a match drop with versus TJ Perkins. It's on
Hmm.
the Relentless Wrestling YouTube, and I'm really proud of how that one came out. So if you guys are interested, or you thought I was cool or funny or whatever, check out a match. I'd be honored, man. I appreciate it.
Fuck
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
You off top. Elliot Ray, where go ahead and drop your promo.
For sure,
Let us
for
know.
sure. For sure. You can find me on Instagram at Elliot_Ray. You can find me on Twitter /X at Elliot Ray _. Immediately this Sunday, Oasis Pro presents Have Mercy at the Gilman Brewery in Berkeley, California. I am in a 6-man tag match. It's me and 2 stars from SoCal against the South Pacific Savages, Samoans and Tongans. They finna be tearing down the place, and I'm gonna beat them to it. So Sunday, Gilman Brewery in Berkeley. That's where I'm gonna be at immediately. Assuming I don't die in that match. May 31st. Me and my brother King Francis will be in tag team action for Stars of Wrestling in Alameda. So that'll be May 31st. And then June, I got a bunch of dates lined up with a promotion called City Fights Pro. They also run Lucha Libre, which is those library shows I mentioned earlier. So June, I'm gonna be a busy man over there.
Off top, good shit. Elliot, Royce, thank you for your time. I know you a busy man. Know you've been doing your thing. Keep kicking ass, man. Shout outs to you, bro. Keep stacking the accomplishments. Keep doing your motherfucking thing. You whooping ass and taking names, man. Elliot Ray, keep doing your motherfucking thing. Keep big dogging them and go whoop some whoop some Islander ass. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna keep this shit rocking, man. It's the Crash Out podcast. Thank you guys for coming on, man. It's always love. Y'all my bros. Y'all welcome anytime. I really appreciate y'all time and y'all effort today and all y'all conversations, man. So there you have it, man. We got Royce Isaacs and this motherfucker, Elliot Ray and this motherfucker. If y'all want to drop anything else, let them know now. Boom.
Hey, just appreciate everyone that spent time listening to us, because I know sometimes, especially I'm a yapper. I'll drone on for a long time. So if you guys enjoyed that, I really appreciate y'all rocking with us. And Elliot, it was definitely an honor to get to meet you and talk with you a little bit. And I'm sure this ain't the last time. I'm sure our paths will cross, whether it's just saying what's up backstage or maybe across each other in the ring or whatever. It's all love and respect. And Cred, it's always good catching up with you, because it's been a freaking minute, man. And thanks for having me on. We'll definitely have to do it again sometime, my bro.
Much love to y'all, man. It's all about y'all. Hey, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Royce Isaacs, Elliot Ray. You heard it here first in the motherfucking Crash Out motherfucking podcast. And that's my crash out, ayy, pop your shit. Tell her out to the face, they ain't talking my shit. Crash out, 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 yeah, I'm spilling the tea. If you catch the ass cap and hit him with the receipts. Crash out, 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 nigga, don't be scared, don't be no punk, man. Speak up if you gon' be heard. Crash out, 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 do your big one, then we going viral. Hella views, come and get some twins. Come and get some crash out, crash out, crash out, crash out, crash out, crash out, crash out. You are now watching the Crash Out podcast. Incredible. Aaron the Plumber, Stockton, in a real way.
What's happening, man? It's your Brodusky, Aaron the Plumber, man. You know, I'm rocking with my Brodusky, Incredible, on the Crash Out podcast, man. They saying I ain't from Stockton, man. I'm real 209 Mudville with it, though. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I got sick, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I just got out the hospital, Brodusky, but I'm definitely finna tap in with Incredible on the Crash Out podcast. We gonna crash out on you niggas. I'm talking about I ain't from Stockton, though, you know?